Hey, family! Welcome to this new video from moonwatchfr Direnzo. You probably know this name, as it's one of the micro brands that has been talked about the most in recent years. And many of you have asked me for my opinion on these watches. I managed to get my hands on one. I thank my friend Joao from the channel Montrez-moi who lent me his Direnzo so I could try it out for several weeks. And it's true that the watch is exceptional. We'll see that right away. The Direnzo Mondiale is a sporty three-hand watch with an integrated bracelet inspired by current stylistic lines. A direct competitor to the Tsuyosa Citizen and other Tissot PRX, this watch, the DRZ04, establishes itself as the bestseller of the young watch brand by Sergio G. Direnzo Watches was founded in 2016 and its vision of watchmaking is clear: to produce a unique range of watches inspired by the timeless aesthetics of mid-20th century race cars and airplanes. With this DRZ04 Mondial light blue, Direnzo offers an automatic watch with impeccable finishes, riding the trend of watches. Called Tiffany Blue. Let's discover the technical specifications of the Direnzo Mondial. This is a watch produced in 2023, a unisex watch with a stainless steel case that features a coating at HV800, a protective coating. The case measures 40 mm in diameter and 10.8 mm in thickness. Inside you will find a Swiss automatic Sellita SW200 movement of elaborate grade, offering a power reserve of 38 hours. This watch is water resistant up to 10 ATM. It has a fixed bezel, a signed and screwed crown and a flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment. The watch comes with a steel bracelet with a deploy and clasp, but it is also possible to choose a rubber strap. The lug width is in a special format. The reference I am presenting to you today is the Mondial DRZ04 with this turquoise blue dial. And finally, in terms of complications, we find the date function. The case of this Direnzo Mondial watch is made of stainless steel treated with an HV800 coating. This means that the watch will be more resistant to scratches and impacts. It measures 40 mm in diameter and only 10.8 mm in thickness. The shape is reminiscent of the design used by the Tissot PRX. We find a bit of this type of case that was so popular in the 70s and 80s. Next, there is a brushed bezel on the top part, but with a mirror-polished chamfer, which adds shine to the watch. Thus, this Direnzo watch shines slightly without turning into a disco ball, of course. Continuing on, there is a signed and screwed crown, which allows for time adjustment. Its size allows for a very, very good grip. It's relatively pleasant. Finally, a transparent case back ensures water resistance up to 100 meters, which is comfortable for a casual watch. It reveals the elaborated grade Sellita movement. We also appreciate the logo painted in red inside the crystal, as well as the following inscriptions engraved around the case's perimeter. Back DRZ04 Mondial. Designed by Sergio G. Direnzo Swiss Maiden. 10 ATM 100 meters. The dial of this Direnzo Mondial DRZ04 automatic watch features a lovely light blue color close to turquoise, which is so fashionable at the moment. Looking at the dial, you will quickly notice that the edge is curved and acts as a rehaut, giving depth and volume to the dial. I hope you can see it in the video, but you can see that the edges of the dial are curved to act as a rehaut. That's quite nice. I really like it. We also find 3D indices that are applied and add to the dimension of the dial. Additionally, the hands are also crafted and original. They are open worked. They are also painted with luminescent material, allowing for correct time reading, even in the dark, properly integrated. There is a date window here at 6 o'clock. Well, this window can stand out, even if it remains discreet. Personally, family, I'm not a huge fan. I would have preferred a version without the date, but in any case, it is well integrated and manages to stay discreet, so why not? Finally, at and top, there is a flat sapphire crystal, to protect the dial and hands. This sapphire crystal has a coating that slightly reduces reflections. It's not the best anti-reflective treatment I've seen, but, well, it does the job. Without real surprise, Direnzo fits a Swiss caliber. Celita SV201 in élaboré. Grade, so it is a controlled movement that shows a measured deviation of about 11 seconds per day, which is, let's say, within the norms. It is a caliber that has 26 joules, using a 1K block type shock protection system. It is a caliber that many microwatch brands use because, unlike the ETA caliber, they are readily available. And finally, they are not that expensive, which allows for controlling the selling price of the watches that are reissued. The 38-hour power reserve seems a bit limited compared to the current standard, but ultimately it is not a hindrance for those who wear their watches regularly. Finally, Direnzo took care to modify the oscillating weight to engrave the mention Direnzo Genève. It's simple, but it does the job. The bracelet of the Direnzo Mondial DRZ04 watch is made of stainless steel. It is quite flexible and alternates between polished and mirror surfaces. As one might expect, there is a signed deployant clasp that ensures the Direnzo watch stays securely on the wrist. The bracelet is good. Once again, it's not the best bracelet I've ever had. That said, it doesn't add much weight to the watch, which is quite appreciable for a steel bracelet. Unfortunately, changing the bracelet won't be simple, as the watch uses a case with an integrated bracelet. This means there is simply a point of attachment between the case and the bracelet, which is specific to the watch. Fortunately, Direnzo offers rubber straps that allow for a sportier look on the wrist. A slight disappointment, however, regarding the rubber strap. Apparently this wouldn't be exactly the same color as the dial, for example. I know my buddy Ice, he has exactly this model with the turquoise blue rubber strap, and the blue is slightly different from that of the dial. That's a bit of a shame. Otherwise, regarding how the watch sits, it sits really well. Of course, we have a thickness of 10.8 mm, which is very pleasant, and at 40 mm the watch fits perfectly on a 17.5 cm wrist. In short, this watch has a very nice presence. The Direnzo World Watch comes in a cardboard box emblazoned with the brand's logo. It is emblazoned in red and it's quite well done. Inside you'll find a watch roll with 3 slots, one of which is used to store the Direnzo World Watch, of course. This Direnzo DRZ04 watch is sold for 750 Swiss francs on the Direnzo website. To that you can add 60 Swiss francs to get an additional rubber strap. So yes, this watch is more expensive than its competitors. It is more expensive than an automatic PRX. It is more expensive than a Tsuyosa. But this DRZ04 stands out for its finishes and especially for the aura that the watch brand has managed to build around it. Indeed, although Direnzo is a micro brand, it is part of those brands like Zelos, with those few rare micro brands that have a large community around them. And that's pleasing. On the secondary market there are offers, but they are quite rare, and generally they don't last very long, so you'll have to act quickly, friends. You should expect to pay around 600 Swiss francs, or even more. For certain dial colors, for example the purple one, the one with the beautifully violet dial, I found it second-hand for over 1100 euros, so, well, after that. Everyone will form their own opinion about that. Direnzo is one of those micro brands that generate a lot of interest from collectors and watch enthusiasts. Each model is carefully thought out and the manufacturing quality is always impeccable. In addition, the brand positions itself in a competitive price niche, but stands out with unique designs and interesting visual features. Almost all collections sell out quickly after they become available, which contributes to the aura surrounding Direnzo. This Direnzo Mondial DRZ04 rides the wave of watches with integrated bracelets and turquoise blue, commonly known as Tiffany blue. And while there are some similarities with the Tissot PRX, this Direnzo watch is far superior in terms of finish. And there you have it, folks. Many of you had asked me to present a Direnzo Mondiale. There you go. It's done. Thank you, Joao, for lending me the watch for several weeks. Before leaving you folks, remember to give a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, it's completely free, so don't be stingy, and otherwise I'll see you soon for more videos. Bye everyone.